Guys, I'm about to give a detailed fishing report for Lake Ouachita, Hamilton, and DeGray. This is my second report that I've done as part of a new series I'm doing where every 2 weeks I give a fishing report. I'm right now on Lake Ouachita. Beautiful lake right now, and the fishing is hot. Okay, so in this fishing report, I'm going to first talk about some of the baits and techniques. Then I'm going to go into the lakes. I'm going to go Ouachita, then I'm going to go Hamilton, then DeGray. And each week I'm going to switch up the order. Okay, guys. So appreciate you. Let me know what you think about this type of video. Once again, every 2 weeks. Now, guys, real quick, shout out to the people that support me. I want to say thank you to Future Marine. I'm right now in this 2022 Triton 20 TRX powered by 250 Mercury 4-stroke. This boat's actually for sale. It's a demo boat. I'm gonna have the information of that down in the description, guys. A new company that's partnered with me, guys, is Sawco Roofing, located in Central Arkansas. They'll do work in the hot springs, guys. The owner, Buzz Sawyer, is actually a fisherman as well. Very, very experienced, done really good in tournaments in the recent years, guys. I've learned a lot about roofs, okay, in the past couple weeks talking with them. You know, I'm a football coach, teacher, fisherman, but I've learned a lot about the roofs. I'm going to be sharing in upcoming videos. If you want more information on them, I'm going to give the information down in the description. One thing, if you've not had your roof checked on in 10 years, 5 years, let's go ahead and get that thing checked out before we have some of this upcoming weather. You want to make sure your roof is ready for this upcoming snow we're going to have. I know in Arkansas we can have hail and tornadoes whenever. It's November and we just had tornado warnings. But having a quality roof, guys, is very important for your family where you're living at. Also, guys, Generation 3 tire and auto, okay? They're on Military Road, one of the cheapest oil changes on Military, and also you're getting work with a third generation family business. One thing about Brady, the owner there, Brady and his dad Jerry still works at Brady. He's been doing it forever, just like Brady's coming up with them. One thing with them is, guys, they're going to tell you the truth about your car, what is wrong. He might even tell you to go somewhere else to get it worked on due to his size and what he does. But one thing I like is he will give you the best information on tires. He put me on a brand of tires that was cheaper, that has a better warranty, and a company that he trusts. So, guys, let's now get into the fishing report. Lake Ouachita. And, guys, I want to talk about baits real quick first before we get to it. The thing about November fishing is you can catch fish however you want. Shallow, deep, top water, bladed jig, swim jig. Like I mostly do on my offshore stuff and with forward facing. I always did offshore fishing. You guys know, but now at forward face I do a lot of it with and do my lessons on it. So I do a lot of the offshore stuff. But the lakes were low. They just came up 2 feet. We had all that rain and it's came up, so you don't see the matted grass right now like you did. But there are going to be some fish starting to get in that grass. I've not found as many, but that's something you can't throw out, and you catch your fish out of those with Texas rigs, flipping, throwing your stuff over them, your soft plastic flukes, your horny toads and that sort. But, guys, what I'm looking for is fish to spin it over points right now, and it could be main lake points to the back of creeks. We're still finding a lot of fish on the main lake. We're right now on the main lake at Lake Ouachita. I got my man Briar up here. He's trying to catch some, but we found a lot of fish on the main lake. There still are on the back of creeks. We checked on some groups back there. Those fish that are suspended, okay, I'm throwing a hover rig first. It's a core tackle hover rig. This is on a freeloader. Now, the thing though lately is they've been wanting smaller bait, and I like this hover rig, which is this 1/8 ounce size with a 3/0 hook. I like it on the freeloader, but I've caught some fish and better fish, but getting more bites has been on smaller type of baits. So when they're up in that water column, I'll still throw top waters, small little top water baits. I know the riser I've talked about, but even small little popping style baits. You could still throw a soft plastic jerk bait up there as well. And then, of course, you know, those guys get deeper off the points. We're going to be throwing the jig head minnow. So this is the baby Z2 on the 1/4 ounce head, okay? And these fish we're catching out here are in timber, a lot in timber. Now we're going to go to the west end of the lake where there's less timber and there's more fish related to brush and just suspended right now, okay? The Alabama rig, guys, is a player. And, guys, I'm going to have all my information and tackle and stuff down in the description. You know, guys, I'm using level rods. I love the rods. They're light, very sensitive. I've been very impressed. This is 7/8 heavy on the Alabama rig. So Alabama rig is becoming a player as well. And then, guys, one thing you cannot roll out is the football jig. We're actually about to go out and catch some fish on the football jig. And that's one thing, you know, this time of year, they will eat a football jig. I've caught fish out here on a football jig in the middle of creeks way before side imaging and all that. I've done it with. And that's this lake. Our lakes, they love crawfish and brim. You can get on these shad baits, of course, but they love crawfish and brim. So right now, they're not all in the back of the creeks yet. Still don't forget the main lake. And when you find them, they are grouped up. Now, guys, let's get on to Lake Hamilton real quick. Hamilton is starting to come down. It's on the drawdown. They're drawing it down 3 foot. and it's been going 3 inches a day. The current is setting them up hard on your points, or on your structure, on your points, on your drops, on your ledges, okay, the humps. They're setting up on it hard. There still are some fish shallow, and they're starting to work their way out to the end of the docks. They're still starting to work on them brush piles. It's kind of pushed them to cover and stuff to relate to. There still are fish roaming. There's still some schooling action, but not as much. Guys, you can catch them out there a lot of ways as well. The bladed jig bite is starting to happen in some of the grass, spinner bait, your top waters. Guys, I know one thing that I didn't mention earlier that we're going to get into gray. The credge is still caught us some fish out there as well. These fish that are sitting high up on the ledges and the drops. And that's where also the hover rig's been at play. Them fish that are high up on them ledges and drops, when that current's running, they're pretty much on the bottom. They're glued. You throw your jigs, you throw the minnow, you throw your crankbaits, your moving style baits. But when they're suspended, this where this dude, because some of them fish at Hamilton have been pressured. I'm talking pressured, as you guys know. It's a smaller lake. They've been seeing a lot of lures. I think I have names for some of the fish out there in groups. I'm starting to name them. But the hover rigs kind of came back in and came into play to catch some of those. So all the way throughout the lake, start looking for them structure areas, and then look at the cover, because they are getting related to it. There still are some fish roaming, but not near as much as there was, okay? And then also, let's go to Lake DeGray. Lake DeGray, I still have that love and hate relationship with. We have had some really good days out there lately, but then there was a tough day or two. So right now, DeGray, it was 9 foot low. It kind of came up with the rain as well. DeGray, though, I'm finding a lot of fish in the grass. A lot of fish in the grass. There's a lot of grass out there, but when you find them, they are in it. But then they might be gone and not there the next day, okay? But they will be close in that area. I found a lot of fish in the backs of creeks. I think it's because they're hiding from the hybrids, as I always tell people. They're getting away from them hybrids. They're in the back of the creeks. They're either, for me, have been swimming over open water, and that's those fish you see schooling, or they're relating to the grass and they're kind of hanging out in that grass. So that is that kind of deal there. Now, as you get up the lake and you get away from the grass, there are fish relating to the rock, okay? And that's where you go throw your jig, your shallow crankbaits as well is going to start being a player up there. I know the river at DeGray. I know I'm more familiar with the river there than this end of the lake at Ouachita. But the river at DeGray, there already was a good square bill bite I've got reported about. And I know when that water starts coming back down, man, up there is going to be a good time to go up there and turn your graphs off and go throw a square bill if that is your thing. Or you can go throw an Alabama rig here as soon as we're talking about. But for me, I've been on the lower end of the lake, and those fish on that lower end have been relating more to the grass for me. The fish I see in trees there are hybrids right now. I haven't found largemouth or spots in the trees. Where I'm at Ouachita, man, we can find a lot of largemouth and spots in the trees. But guys, let me know what you think about this fishing report, okay? So I'm going to put all the baits and some of the stuff down there in the description. Once again, do these videos every 2 weeks. I really don't feel like this was a good one as last one. Probably because I'm on the water and I want to go fish and I'm watching my man up here trying to catch some. And so I might be kind of a little sidetracked a little bit. But appreciate you guys, and hey, we'll see you on the next one.